Hello, welcome to Shabbat services from Montgomery, Alabama. We've just ended up a nice discussion about this week's events. And now we are going to continue. It is this week is called the Shabbat of Shabbat Shira, the Shabbat of Song. It is the Shabbat that we read the Torah portion when the Israelites walk through the Red Sea. And in honor of that, on page 13, we're going to sing, page 13, we're going to bring Shir Ladonai Shir Chadash. I'm just going to mute everybody. Please sing along, but I'm going to mute everyone so that we only hear one voice. Okay? So page 13, or the transliteration is on page 13. Great. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Baruchu Shemo, Basru Meyom Leyom Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo Bechol Ha'amim Niflotav, Ki Gadol Adonai Hula me'od, norahu, al kol Elohim, ki kol Elohe ha'amim elilim, ma'adonai shamayim asa, hod v'hadar lefanav oz v'tiferet b'migdasho, havu ladonai mishpachot amim, havu ladonai kavod v'oz, havu ladonai kevod shemo, seu mincha Uva'u lechatzrotav, Hishtachavu ladonai behadra kodesh, chilu mipanav kol haaretz, imru vagoyim, Adonai malach atichon tevel, ba'altimot, yadinamim b'mesharim, yismechu hashamayim v'targel haaretz, Yiram Hayam Umelo Ya'alo Sadai V'kol Asher Bo Az Yiranenu Kol Atzeyar Lifnei Adonai Kiva Kiva Lishbot Haaretz Yishbot Tevel Betzedek Me'amin Me'emunato Yanai Nanai Nanai Nanai. So great. Let's go. Can I have a volunteer? Does anyone want to volunteer to read Psalm 97? Elaine, will you do that?
Cute. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. What page are we on?
Page 15.
Page 15. Okay. Adonai reigns. Let the earth be glad. The many distant lands rejoice.
Clouds and thick
around the divine.
Justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about. Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth. The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory. Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods, and that is deemed supreme bow before God. Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult as you, Adonai, pass judgment. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped and as divine. Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name.
Amen. Man. Someone want to continue reading on page 17?
Oh,
Great.
a song. Sing to Adonai a new song, for Adonai has wrought wonders. God's right hand and holy arm have brought deliverance. Adonai declared deliverance. As nations looked on, God's righteousness was revealed. God dealt faithfully and kindly with the house of Israel. The very ends of the earth saw our God's saving power. Call out to Adonai, all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the lyre and voices making music together. With horns and shofar cries, trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai. Let the sea and all that is in it roar, the earth and all who inhabit it thunder. Let rivers clap hands while mountains sing in harmony. Greeting Adonai, who comes to judge the earth, judging the world with justice and the nations with truth.
Thank you. Amen. And someone read on page 19. Barbara, great.
You're still muted.
Oh, you're still muted.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, great.
Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherubim makes the world quake. Adonai is great in Zion, above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, awe-inspiring, Holy One. A sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forge the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly. Exalt Adonai, our God. Bow down before God, the Holy One. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name, called to you, and you answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them. You answered them, Adonai, our God. You are a forgiving God to them, even as you punished them for their transgressions. Exalt Adonai, our God, and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai, our God, is holy.
Amen. Amen. So we're going to go ahead and continue on page 29. I'm sorry, on page 21 with Psalm 29, page 21.
I will.
Me?
What? Okay, yeah, Kathy, you want?
Well, Psalm of David. Acclaim Adonai, the children of divine. Acclaim Adonai with honor and strength. Acclaim Adonai with the honor due God's name. Bow before Adonai in the splendor of the sanctuary. The voice of Adonai thunders over the waters. God, glorious, thunders. Adonai over the great city. The voice of Adonai with all its power. The voice of Adonai with all its majesty. The voice of Adonai shatters the cedars. Adonai shatters the cedars of Lebanon, making the trees dance like calves. The mountains of Lebanon and Suram like wild bulls. The voice of Adonai forms flames of fire. The voice of Adonai convulses the wilderness. Adonai convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Adonai makes hinds calve and strips forests bare. And in God's sanctuary, all acknowledge the glory of God. Adonai was enthroned above the floodwaters. Enthroned, Adonai is eternally sovereign. Adonai will grant strength to God's people. Adonai will bless them with peace.
Amen. So we just saw the wilderness of Kadesh in our maps. Okay, nice, thank you. All right, let's continue with Lecha Dodi on page 23. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu el meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet ve'letila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekor habracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh machshava techila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat Shabbat kala, Panei Shabbat nikabela. And we continue on page 25 with the last one. We rise and bow towards the entrance. Bo'vi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Gam besimcha uvetzola, Soch toch emunei am segula, Bo'vi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nikabela. And we continue with the Kaddish Yatom on page 30. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, B'yoma divra chirutei v'yamlich machutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitraman v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitala Shemei dekudesha b'rechu, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. We continue with the first blessing before the Shema on page 39a. Does someone want to read that in English? The first blessing before the Shema? Barbara? All right, and does anyone want to read the second blessing in English? Oh, okay. We'll go for it, Barbara.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai's vote is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk.
Amen. So I'm going to read Ahavat Olam. Okay, we can sing it. Ahavat Olam on page 40. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ata Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Aken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokmeinu u'vekumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nehege yomam v'layla Ve'vatchar al tisim mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amaho Yisrael. Page 41. El Melech Ne'eman. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We continue reading individually on page 41 or 42. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el bnei Yisrael v'yamarta alehem v'yasu lahem tzitzit al kanfei bigdehem ledorotam v'natnu al tzitzit hakanfat pita v'techelet v'haya lachem letzitzit Uraitem oto uzachartem et kol mitzvot Adonai va'asitem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavchem acharei nechem asher atem zonim achareihem leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiyot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. And we continue with Emet V'Emunah on page 43. Emet V'Emunah kozot v'kayam aleinu ki hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ein zulatenu anachnu Yisrael amo. On page 44, Umachuto bertu kiblu alehem Moshe uMiriam u'bnei Yisrael lachanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam mi chamocha be'elim Adonai mi chamocha neder b'kodesh nora tehilot oseh fe'eleh Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei al yam lifnei Moshe Zaeli anu ve'amru Adonai himloch leolam va'ed. Bana emar kifar Adonai et Yaakov uga'olo mi'chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Page 45. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha V'takanenu be'etzah tova lefanecha V'hoshienim le'aman shemecha V'hagen ba'adenu. Ki el melech brachum ata ushmor teitenu uvoinu l'chaim l'shalom yata ve'ad olam ufrotz aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai hapares sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'asot et ha-Shabbat Ledorotam berit olam. Ehini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashevihi Shabbat vayinafash. We continue with the Amida on page 47. Now is the time to say the words on the page or the prayers in your heart. We're going to go turn your cameras off or go dark for 3 minutes, and then we'll come back at 7:39. If you are praying the Amidah, please continue to do so. The rest of us continue with the symbolic repetition of the Amidah on page 53. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'kol tevam Vayechal Elohim v'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa Vayishbot v'yom hashvi'i mimol melachto asher asa Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto Kiva Shabbat mikol malakto asher bara Elohim lasot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'elevotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara El Elyon Konei Shamayim Ba'aretz Magen Avod Bidvaro Mechayei Metim B'Ma'amaro Ha'el Hakadosh She'en Kamohu Hameniach Le'amo B'Yom Shabbat Kodsho Kivam Rata Lahaniach Lahem, Kivam Rata Lahaniach Lahem, Lefanav Navod B'Yirav V'Fachad, B'Nodeh Lishmo B'Chol Yom Tamid, Me'on HaBrachot, El HaHodahot, Adon HaShalom, Mekadesh HaShabbat Umbarek Shevi Umeniach B'Kedusha Le'am Mikdush Neoneg Zecher Lemase Bereshit Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Ritzei B'Mnuchatenu Kachenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein kalkenu b'toratecha, sahabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libenu, le'ovdecha be'emet, v'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu, Be'ahava uvrachon Shabbat kochecha B'yanuchu Yisrael V'kadesh shemecha Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue with the Aleinu on page... The Aleinu on page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoe haratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem V'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim ve'yoser haaretz, u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim imol, Ushkina tuzo, Bigov hemeromim, Hu Eloheinu enod, Emet malkeinu efesulato, Kakatu betorato, Vidatoyom vehashivota elevavecha, Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד, אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Echad. This week, we lovingly remember Nettie Finkelstein Bayless, Annie R. Byrne, Dr. Alan Hess, Eli H. Hannon, Clara Marcoux, Mitzi Mayer, Dorothy Shapiro, Albert Kapp, Joseph Narlings, Maybe Center Cohen, Rachel M. Hannon, Bella Rubenstein, Sarah Verone, Ruth Wecker, Sarah D. Cohen, Goldie Feldman, Mark Kalik, Dora Kramer, and Phyllis Kosovar. Is anyone else who's online have anyone that they are remembering this week? Or would like to talk about someone they are remembering? Okay, so we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish on page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma Divra Chirute V'yamlich Mahute B'chayechon V'yamechon U'chaye D'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala U'vizman Kari V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam U'lamei Amaya Yitbarach Yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitraman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha B'rechu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Da'amiran V'yalma V'imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. And so, before we end, did we have any announcements? I see Barbara looking, so I'm going to ask her to unmute.
Yeah. Okay. Rabbi, listening to your sweet voice is a lovely way to begin Shabbos, and I thank you for that. Services tomorrow morning at 9:30. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to stop streaming now, and we're going to just stay on if you want, and to kibbutz and whatnot. So let me go ahead and